some of you have asked the procedure in creating tags with an external CSV file, so I'll quickly give you an example of that. Here is my SORBA SDE, an asset called compressor1, and then I've got a group called sensors with a single tag temperature1. The first step is you first want to establish a channel for your tags, the data source. In this case, I'm just using a CSV file to simulate the data, but this could be attached to your PLC or SCADA, OPC UA server, whichever driver you're going to use to get the data. The initial tag, or you need to have at least one tag so you can see the structure of the format of the CSV file. And this current tag that I've got assigned as a data collection, cyclic every 10 seconds, and it is attached to the channel PLC1, and this is in this case, the PLC tag with its temperature underscore sensor is a float. So this is tied to that PLC address temp sensor 1. So once you create the first tag, then you can export. And the way you start the process is you right click or select device, and you want to export nodes. And in the export node pop-up, you select CSV only assets and channels. You export that out. What it will do is it will download a zip of the entire node structure within your current device. We will download that, save it. Then we'll go into our downloaded file, zip file, expand that out. And I'm going to extract all. Excellent. Just make sure it is unzipped here. Yep. Okay. And then when you unzip it or extract all, you will have a folder called dictionaries and another CSV file called info.csv. This is the actual file that you'll be editing. So we'll use Excel to edit. Open that now. Hopefully that'll open. So let's, I'll try to format the cell width so we can see everything inside the cells. Okay, so here you have the structure of the CSV file, the general tag settings. This is where your tags are generated. The channel settings is your channels. Obviously, I only have one channel and one tag, so yours might be a little bit more populated. What I would recommend is just leave the one tag, delete all the other rows of tags. That way, you don't need to have them all in when you're importing. The system will automatically it will notice, or it will detect that you have a new tag and it'll create it. Any of the ones that are already existing, and if you already have rows in here with existing tags, it'll just ignore those anyway. So there's no need to have extra rows of tags that already exist in your file. So okay, once you clean that up, now what we want to do is we want to copy, and then we'll just copy a few. So you're copying, essentially you're copying the oops, let me do that again. I wanted to copy insert. There we go. Let me try that again. Let me do a few more here. Okay, great. So you want to copy the same structure. Since we have the same channel, and you can change the data types if you want to go in and modify some of the attributes to these tags, you can. In this case, I'm just going to just enumerate these and create, temperatures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you scroll to the very right, you will have the mapping into the channel, PLC channel addresses. So you got to scroll all the way down. This is a very wide table because it covers all the different drivers. And eventually, hopefully, we'll see it here. Here we go. Okay. All right. So yeah, my driver is a simulator in this case, but yours would be tied to a PLC. So this is the actual PLC tag name. I am going to make something up here, which, well, it's not really an address in the PLC, but this is for illustration purposes. We'll copy that in to, again, this is just to go through the exercise here, but you're going to configure your own PLC addresses. So great. Once you have that all configured, you will then save it, close the file, and what you need to do, this is important, is you need to rezip these two, this folder and the info.csv file. Okay, so now let's select both of those, and we are going to compress into a zip file. You can call it dictionary.zip is fine, doesn't really matter the name. So once you've rezipped or compressed those two elements, the dictionary folder and the info.sys, then you go back to SORBA. Let me go back to here we go. And on the same device node, instead of export, you want to import, and then you're going to either drag it in there or you can just go ahead and point to the location. All right, and it's my rezip file is inside the folder here, so there you go. Select the zip file, awesome, apply, and hopefully let me refresh this. Okay, then once you import it back in, you will then see that you've now created the additional tags that I added through the zip file. Okay, so that's a pretty simple way to modify and add a lot of tags rather than trying to do it through the UI. This is a much more efficient way.